welcome to Salubrious Skin with Dr. Irene Wellness Revival Special Edition. So today I'm talking on my own. It's not an interview with anyone else. I know I've been having quite a few interviews with some lovely experts, but today I'm going to be sharing with you all about nutritional information about changing your diet and what steps you can take to create that change. So one of the most common areas people have in New Year's resolutions or wanting to make changes in their health is their diet. This can range from eating more vegetables, drinking more water, wanting to cut things out completely like sugar or alcohol or refined foods. So it gets super confusing as there are so many experts saying, do this, do that, follow this diet. You should be eating carbs. You shouldn't be eating carbs. It's just crazy as far as the information that's actually out there. The truth is that it is a whole lot simpler than that. Ideally, you have to choose something that suits you and your body. And you may not necessarily know what is ideal for you, but speaking to someone like myself, a Chinese medicine practitioner, if you can identify physiological processes that may dictate you eat a specific diet over another diet, then that would give you more insight what to do. Otherwise, you're best to try various things out and see how your body responds. And really, it needs to respond in a favorable way. If you're feeling hungry, irritable, stressed, uncomfortable, then it's not ideal for what your body needs, and you need to look at another option. So for example, people like myself who have psoriasis or PCOS or insulin resistance or diabetes, they need to be on an insulin resistant diet. And so what that typically means is great amount of vegetables, a bit of protein, a lot less carbs and keeping the carbs low GI, and also some legumes. This can help with the gradual release of glucose in the bloodstream, which means a resistant body will be able to process the slow release of glucose versus someone who is eating high GI carbs, which releases the glucose very quickly, and a resistant body won't be able to deal with that. So first of all, what I recommend you do is write everything down that you're eating. So by taking note of what you're eating, it actually highlights exactly what you're consuming in the day. So many times in my clinic, I have patients say, oh no, I eat pretty well, I don't eat this or that. And then we go through an average day or an average week, and then they go, oh yeah, but sometimes I might have Macca's for breakfast, or I might, have a late lunch or something like that. So it's really important to write everything down. And this includes alcohol and sweets as well. So, and takeaway and all that sort of thing. If you can be really honest with yourself and recognize where you're doing things that can be changed, then that's going to make your life a lot more easier and actually less stressful, as opposed to thinking you need a massive overhaul of your diet. So the second thing is, when you've written, I always recommend 7 days. So a nice typical week, Monday to Sunday, and go through various days and actually circle where you think you can make changes. So it may be that you're snacking too much in the evening. It may be that 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're hungry and you don't have anything, so you grab the chocolate bar, or wherever you feel you can make some changes. And I think most common, I have patients that actually know where they need to make changes. So if you can identify where these changes need to happen, then you can actually go about making the change. If you aren't aware and you think, hey, I'm actually think I eat pretty well, I think that I'm, not having anything that I can take out, then you have to look at the quantity that you're eating. So what's the portions like? Are you having a lot of fruit? So for instance, 3 fruits a day are ideal. You take that up a notch to 6 or 7 fruits, then you're going to find that that's just too much sugar. Are you having all that fruit, those 3 fruits in one go as a smoothie, or you're having it staggered over the day? having all that fruit in one go, that's going to be way too much sugar for you. And so that's going to spike your glucose, increase your insulin, and get you that great energy high. But what goes up must come down. So what happens in that instance is that your energies drop, and then you're more likely to reach out for the coffee or the chocolate or something to give you that energy boost again. So if we can keep your energy levels nice and consistent with the way you're eating, then you'll find that you're going to feel a lot more energy and less likely to snack on things that aren't ideal for your health. Now, when you've made the decision you want to create change, whether that be, hey, I'm going to stop chocolate, or I'm going to stop cheese, or whatever it is that you feel is upsetting the way you feel. It may be causing bloating, it may be causing indigestion, constipation, loose stools, making you miserable. I mean, alcohol is a depressant, so alcohol can be making you depressed. Whatever it is that you want to take out, and it might be one thing, it might be three things, you need to remove it from your home. You need to remove it from your fridge, you need to remove it from your pantry or your wine cellar or whatever it is. You can't have the temptation there, because at that moment when you go, oh, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon and typically I have a piece of chocolate now, or oh, it's, dinner time, I always have a glass of wine when I'm preparing dinner. Those routines need to be changed. And so by eliminating those foods or beverages that you're trying to omit from your diet, they need to be eliminated from temptation as well. So when you're making dinner and you're thinking, okay, well, I'd love a glass of wine right now. Oh, there isn't any. You're going to go and grab some water, and you can put a squeeze of lemon in it, or you might cut up some vegetables and snack on that while you're eating. I do that a lot before dinner. I cut up cucumber and carrots and just have them there on the plate. And my son comes and grabs some. I'll grab some, and it's just something to snack on while waiting for dinner to be ready. So when you can actually eliminate temptation from your home and also from your work, obviously you can't throw away other colleagues' food or drinks, but obviously in your own space, your desk, from your drawers. A lot of people tell me they stash a lot of little lollies or snacks or sweets in their drawers, and so when they feel peckish, they open the drawer and grab some. When you can eliminate all this from your personal space, then when you are tempted, you're going to reach out for the um, right food replacement. And that's my next point, having something to replace that, and having something healthy to replace it. So you don't want to replace a Kit Kat with a Mars bar. You don't want to replace red wine with a white wine. You don't want to replace a Fanta with a Coke. So you want to replace it with a healthy option. Now, typically keeping hydrated is really important to minimize cravings. So when you are experiencing cravings, you're going to find that when we're talking about sugar cravings, keeping hydrated can help you reduce the sugar cravings. But if you are unable to maintain these cravings, they're kind of overwhelming or a beast in themselves, then it's ideal to look into your digestion. If your digestion is weak, then you might find that your cravings for sugar are much greater. You strengthen the digestion and your cravings for sugar actually reduce. Now, cravings for salt are quite different. Cravings for salt is really due to adrenal weakness. So your adrenals are the glands that sit on top of the kidneys. And so essentially what happens in this situation, if you've been stressed for a long period of time and the adrenals are basically exhausted, then you're more likely to crave salt. So in those circumstances, it's actually great to have salt, because your Himalayan pink salt, your Celtic sea salt, it's so full of minerals and vitamins that it's actually used to replenish the health of your adrenals. So you shouldn't actually avoid salt if you're craving it, but you need to have the good salt. Even if you make some chips at home, you might think, oh, I'll cut up some sweet potato and throw them in the oven and sprinkle some sea salt or Himalayan pink salt. That's fine. You're getting the good salt. Or you're boiling an egg for breakfast and you want a bit of salt on, or you're preparing some food, a soup, or whatever it is, and you want salt, but as long as it's your salt, as long as it's Himalayan pink salt or Celtic sea salt. It's not the type where you say, I'm craving salt, so I'm going to get a bag of crisps, or salty caramel chocolate. I mean, they might use Himalayan pink salt in that, but you want to be using the Himalayan pink salt or the Celtic sea salt, and that's going to rejuvenate your adrenals, obviously addressing the stress levels as well. That's pretty important. So mentioned keeping the water intake to 2 liters minimum. It can be greater if you're expending energy, if you're increasing your fitness goals and trying to be more regularly active, whether it's in the gym or walking around your local area. You need to keep well hydrated. If you are expending that energy and burning your resources, then you need to be having more than 2 liters of water. And then if you're feeling that you're making these changes and you're really not getting the results you're wanting to achieve, so I think the best point to have this goal around your diet is, what's your objective? Why are you wanting to make these changes? Are you wanting to feel healthier? Are you wanting to address a health complaint? What is it specifically that you're trying to change? And so if you don't feel you're getting that change from changing these areas of your diet, then seeing a health practitioner is probably more important, because physiologically there may be some issue that has resulted. And food is a huge contributing factor to poor digestive health, and can outset to other things. So if we've got a lot of phlegm and damp in the body, it can make the body very sluggish and unmotivated. It can even affect fertility. I mean, that's the extent of it. So when we're eating a diet high in inflammatory foods, it can lead to autoimmune diseases and other inflammatory conditions. So if you feel, hey, I made the changes to the diet, I'm not really getting the benefit in the areas that I wanted, then it's important to go see a health practitioner to be able to alter the physiological changes that have occurred, so that the benefits of what you've made through your diet are received and continued, and so that way you'll be healthier in the long run. Now, that's all I've got for today. Basically, I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Write a complete, thorough 7-day food diary. Include your any sort of changes in your diet that you might see from time to time, whether you go out once a month. Include that, because it's important to take note of that. Circle areas you want to change. Remove all these foods from your pantry and your fridge and your desk and wherever they're around, so that temptation will be minimal. And also make sure you keep hydrated. Address sugar cravings by recognizing the link to the digestion, any salt cravings, and have your good pink salt or Himalayan pink salt or your Celtic sea salt. And if you've made these changes and you're not really seeing the results you want in your health, then go see a health practitioner and find out why you need more assistance. In what area of your health do you need more assistance? And that will really get you the ball rolling into eating healthier and being a lot healthier within yourself. Now, I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been a very short and sweet one, but one that has been packed full of information. So make sure you re-watch it if you need to take note of anything that you may have missed. And of course, be sure to comment below with any insights or any questions, or email me directly at info@salubre.com.au, and I'll be able to help you out with any queries you may have. Bye for now.